What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, back with some more Demon Bluff, and we are going to continue our endless mode streak in this video. There were a few small updates since the last time we played. The first one I can show off right now. You can see down at the bottom now there are two new options. The first is blind deck, where the game will not show you your deck at the start of a village. I don't know how often I'm going to make use of that, but it's nice that it's there. We'll see. The option that I do think I will make a lot of use out of, though, is pinning your deck. And of course, you can't pin the blind deck. Oh, no, you can. Okay, well, I'm going to turn off blind deck because I don't want to use that. But now we can just see what outcasts and evils are in the deck without having to tab in and tab out. That is absolutely beautiful. Also, you can click and hold tab now to view the deck quickly if you don't want to pin the stuff, though honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't. It feels like this setting should probably just be on by default, and I think it's also going to allow me to do some different type of Demon Bluff content in the future. I think that it could make it possible, or just a little bit easier, to speed run the game. I think that that was always possible, but now it seems like it might be a little bit more fun. And there is one other new feature going on here. I'm blocking it with my camera on the screen, but now you can draw on the board, and that's how we undo. Perfect. And you can draw in different colors, and I assume then we can undo those things in that order. That's pretty beautiful. And space will toggle the draw mode. I wish that was just a little bit lower so it wasn't blocking the outcasts here, but I will definitely be using this to make a thumbnail for this video. That seems like a good use of it, at least for right now. And I think that there are some other good uses for that as well. We are currently on village number 15. Closest evil equidistant. So maybe we take that and we do like a little bit we just do like this. I don't know. Maybe that helps me remember it. Another thing that you can do now is you can, I got to get out of this mode. You can mark with a blue indicator that also has an exclamation point. That could be useful, especially for plague doctors, I think, or just any hints that you want to make sure you're keeping in mind. But I'm not sure exactly what it will be useful for, but more tools are definitely good. 3 evils in this village. That is a lot of evils. And then we also have a witch and a Lilith. Wow, they are starting us off strong here. Oh, are we gonna... Dang, okay, this is gonna be tricky. Dreamer. Well, we'll want to make use of this Dreamer before the day is over. I don't know if I should make myself smaller. I think I'm normally smaller in these videos, but this is just the camera that I clicked on here. I am 4 cards away from corrupted character. Now, the only way that something can get corrupted is from the Plague Doctor, but that will point at either of these two. So these are possibly the Plague Doctor corrupted, which could be really, really useful information. Or if we don't find a Plague Doctor, then the Bard is lying. But I would be a little bit afraid that, like, okay, you know what? Let's do the Dreamer, and let's see what the Bard is. The Bard could be a witch. That could be useful because we won't be able to flip over our last card. And in a Lilith game, yeah, that's not actually going to... Actually, will it impact something? I'm not sure. But let's flip over the Lover here now and learn that there's 1 evil adjacent to the Lover. All right, let's go with number 8 then. That is a Knight. Well, if the Knight is Plague Doctor corrupted, then the Bard is evil. I think that this is worth stabbing. That's Lilith. Cool. Now we don't have to worry about Lilith anymore. That is really great. That will mean that after 2 more flips, the witch will prevent the final flip. Okay, cool. I was just trying to think if the Dreamer would potentially reset. I am 3 cards away from Corrupted Character, which is actually pretty good info. It probably means that these two aren't our doppelganger. 1, 2, 3 would be Lilith. 1, 2, 3 would be number 5. So these two, their information is not lining up unless, of course, actually this bard is a corrupted doppelganger. And that would actually make this bard the doppelganger and this bard corrupted. Oh, but then that's 2 different outsiders to account for. So I think that that's actually not possible. It's still very possible that either of these bards are good or evil, but if we don't find a Plague Doctor between 3 and 5, I'm going to start to feel a little bit sus. We do find the Plague Doctor, though. So they could still both be evil, but that's less likely considering Lilith was a knight. Like if Lilith was a bard, then we still have the witch to find. Okay. 1 evil adjacent to me, says the lover. The lover could be evil, or 5 could be evil. Number 6 could be the witch. So they're a pretty good stab. If we find something that could be Lilith, then we could leave it alone. Or / the Dreamer is bad. Let's check the other bard. The other bard could be the witch. Closest evil is equidistant. Well. That seems corrupted / evil, right? Because we know that Lilith is evil, and it's probably not going to be the Plague Doctor. Let's check if number 1 is our corrupted character. That means that you are correct. You are at the very least wrong. You could actually be corrupted. So I'll leave you alone. You are 4 away from the bard that is looking for a corrupted character. It's a stretch to make that happen, though, right? Because you would have to be the doppelganger. You would have to be the original villager that's Plague Doctor corrupted, and then I would still have an extra. So if this Plague Doctor is real, the problem is an evil Plague Doctor will always just say that somebody else is corrupted so that something else is evil. But you're saying 5 is evil? Oh, that's a really good number to say. That is a really good number to say, in fact. Oh, and you can mark something with 5 and 3. That's neat. For now, I'm going to say I think 5 is evil. I think you might be the witch. I mean, this just works. What I'm looking at right here just straight up works. Could other things work? Yeah, possibly. But I think I'm going to see if you're the witch. You were, so you're good. You are definitely corrupted. You could be evil and you are corrupted and you're evil. No, that doesn't work, right? Is there a universe where this Plague Doctor is evil, which would mean that you're not corrupted? Oh, the Plague Doctor... No, okay. Yeah, it has to be number 5, because number 1 has to be corrupted, because there's no way that the bard is corrupted if the Plague Doctor's evil. And yeah, this just isn't right information, so you can't be evil. Like, that would just mean everything else is evil, which is just way too much. All right. An easy one. Just double checking here as we get a little bit of a warm-up. And now we don't even need to see this village, because immediately we can just check the cards here, because it never really matters what the villagers are. All you really care about are what are the potential outcasts and what evils are we working with. And this time we are working with a Plague Doctor, a Doppelganger, and a Wretch as our outcast. It feels like the ba is not doing nothing here. Whatever. Not going to worry about it. Jester. Closest evil clockwise. So let's flip over number 7. There are no corrupted characters. So if we see a Plague Doctor, either the Bard or the Plague Doctor is a lion. But for right now, that looks good. A second Jester has hit the village. A Knight. Well, the Knight could be Plague Doctor corrupted. Both sides are equally evil. That sounds pretty reasonable. And then a Knight. Okay. Well, I see no Plague Doctor here, so we can stab these knights for free. Great. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I said speedruns are going to be possible, and yeah, they certainly are. So now we can, yeah, and once the second one was once the first one that I killed was a minion, the first one had to be evil. So fair enough. I didn't even get to process at that. I was just stabbing the knights because there was no reason not to do so. Okay, let's start off here with the closest evil is counterclockwise. So let's go clockwise this time. Minion is one card away from closest evil. So they are sat next to each other, or Minion is next to the Wretch. That is definitely possible. And I kind of trust this information because there's no way both of these could be evil. One could be Plague Doctor Corrupted, but if both of these are evil, then the Scout is lying. Or, I'm sorry, if both of these are evil, then the Scout is telling the truth because the Minion would be one away from the closest evil, which means they cannot both be evil. So this is pretty likely to just be solid info here. 7 is evil. Yeah, let's check it out with a few things. Let's keep going this way. Number 5, a real medium. Number 1, a real enlightened. So this could be the doppelganger. Medium with a new artwork here. And number 1, real enlightened. Okay. Still all looks good to me so far. 1 is evil. 4, 2, or 7. Well, it could be 7 and 8. 4 and 2 look good. I think 7 and 8 are going to be our evils, and this is our doppelganger. We've got a knight. No Plague Doctor, right? Oh, we do have a Plague Doctor. So, if the knight is Plague Doctor Corrupted, that's where things get a little bit dicey. Now, how else could this... It could be that this is Plague Doctor Corrupted. So let's... Is there a clear all button yet? I don't think that there's a clear all button. Oh, you know what? So let's... We've got one world here with these. Let's use our indicators here, or our paintbrush. If this is Plague Doctor Corrupted, then this is corrupted information, making you evil. This is going to make for a terrible thumbnail, isn't it? These are, I'm so bad at drawing here. Let's keep trying to draw a circle. Sure. All right, that's our best circle. And that means that this way is good, this way is evil, which could point towards you being evil. Because this would be our correct outcast. However, that makes this information wrong and this information wrong. This information would check out, but I don't think anything else is going to work here. So let's grab my thumbnail real quick. Okay. And let's undo all of this because this is nonsense. It is, I think, just that is the evil team. I'll use the Plague Doctor ability before we move along here. And let's see if the knight is corrupted. Yes. 1 is evil and 7 is corrupted. Huh. But that is not possible. Right? Let's hear him out. If 1 is evil, 1 is evil, then we know that this information is wrong, which means that this person is evil and this is corrupted, and then This plague doctor's just a liar. All right, there we go. Easy enough. You know, first idea, best idea. But I wanted to double check and use the drawing tool as well. Might not have been the best use of it, and I'm sure there's going to be some real Demon Bluff artists in the future too, right? But that's not me. So we have got a Shaman Lilith with a drunk or a plague doctor. We have not had a drunk yet in this video. Maybe that's why things have been such smooth sailing. We do have a druid to find the drunk. That's useful. And druid, I do not believe refreshes. Using druid to check the night could be pretty good. We got one more flip here, and that's the bombardier. Okay, so let's use druid to check night, bombardier, and 8. Among 2, 3, and 8, there is Plague Doctor. Oh gosh, there is Plague Doctor. So night seems good, huh? Yeah, night's good. I want to flip the Plague Doctor with my final flip. That does kind of make me... Oh, there's 2 outcasts. There's 2 outcasts. Wow. Okay, that is easily overlooked. I don't know why there are 2 outcasts sometimes, but I want access to the Plague Doctor. We are going to lose number 6. I think we can trust this Plague Doctor, unless it's specifically the Druid and the Plague Doctor that be lying. We've already checked the Knight here. We will get 2 evils adjacent to me. 2 evils adjacent to me. Now, I did kind of think, yeah, Druid, Plague Doctor could be the evil team. I kind of like what this lover is cooking up here, just because it seems convenient. Lilith is 3 away from the closest evil. Now, that actually ain't gonna work, because 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Interestingly, this knight kind of clears some important stuff here. 1, 2, 3. Well, it could be the scout still. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It cannot be the Plague Doctor. If the scout... Right? Wait, yes. It cannot be the Plague Doctor because the Plague Doctor is 3 away from the scout and the knight, but it could be... Yeah, it can be the Plague Doctor plus the scout. Yeah. Okay, so it just straight up cannot be the Plague Doctor, which I think now makes the druid good. This could still be wrong info, but we're going to trust it for now, which means this is not looking good. Lover is looking bad. Could be the drunk. I'm 1 card away from corrupted character. Cannot be the Plague Doctor is corrupted. It could be our face down card is corrupted. What you gonna do there? And then we also have the Jester. And now we are in our final day. I don't love this, and I don't love this, but that would not make these 3 away from each other. It could be that Scout is corrupted. I kind of want to Jester check Bard, Lover, Knight. 1, 2, 3. Could be that the Lover is corrupted and it's the Bard and the Jester. That is also fairly reasonable. I think we need to actually affirmatively check the Jester by checking the 3 people that we know are good. So you're good. You've now checked out. Which I think means it could be Scout is Plague Doctor corrupted. Oh, okay. Actually, I think it's always that the Bard is bad. Because the Scout could be Plague Doctor corrupted. Wait. Don't we actually have 1 Plague Doctor corrupted and 2 evil regardless of how you slice it here? So how can we move about in a way that gets us the most information? Because let's break out this drawing tool. Actually, do I want to do this real quick? Yeah, what if we do... Either these 2 could be corrupted... Or could be an evil team, at which point this information is corrupted. This information is false. Oh, I think it lines up in a weird way. That's why it's... Yeah, okay. And this information is, of course, false. If these two are evil, then this info is still false. This info is false. And this info is false, of course, or corrupted. And then if these two are evil, then this info is just corrupted. This info is wrong. This info is wrong. So either way, we have a little bit of a chain here. Oh, and we can keep this information up as we browse the board. That makes sense. So if we Plague Doctor and check and learn no, it's not corrupted, then we know it's evil, right? 1, 2, 3. Just trying to lean into, is there any way that... Actually, yes. This could be corrupted. You are right. You are right. And then these are the evils. But then where's our second outcast, right? That would leave us without a second outcast. We don't have a doppelganger. No, we just have... We could have a drunk. We could have a drunk. I'm going to go with the bombardier being correct. That seems to make the most sense to me. Oh, and we've used this and kind of wasted it. We flipped over the jester last, so we only got one opportunity to use it. Something is telling me to Plague Doctor check the bard. The bard just seems like the least egregious liar here. Not corrupted, so I think then you have to be evil. And that's Lilith. But does that give us any other information, or do we have to 50-50? You don't usually have to 50-50 in this game. Oh, there's a shaman. Oh, wow. So this is actually just a repeat. But we'll never get to see what it is. Oh, that's awkward. Which also means that the shaman just happened to hop on something that wasn't a double claim. So good for them. We know that this is wrong. We know that this is wrong. I wonder if I was supposed to stab first because I had a 2 out of 3 to kill an evil, and then I was supposed to 50-50 the Plague Doctor, and then it wouldn't really be a 50-50 because if it said not corrupted, then I just kill them. So I think I actually could have made this a 2 out of 3 rather than a 50-50. I'm not seeing a way, 1, 2, 3, to have any different outcome here other than a 50-50. So I'm going to kill the lover, which is just what I feel in my bones. And that was a corrupted lover from the Plague Doctor. And now we know that this jester is good. We know that the druid is good because they were corrupting the lover. So it's just got to be the scout. Whew, closest I've come to losing my streak here since we have really started streaking. Getting down to 1 health, a little bit spooky, but we are doing all right. All right, 2 outcasts again in this village. Evils are not adjacent to each other. That includes a potential wretch. That also includes a counselor that could make a wretch. So either this knitter is wrong. This knitter could be a counselor next to a wretch. Oh, it's a bombardier. Okay. It could just be that and this is a Lilith board. All right, well, we're about to lose somebody. Nothing we can do. Between 6, 9, and 3, there's an outcast, a minion, and a villager. Well, this looks like an outcast to me, which would imply, one of these two are going to be evil. So let's leave those alone for the moment and flip 7. This could be our counselor, which would mean that this is not Lilith. Lover. No adjacent evils. No adjacent evils. If this is correct information, that means that 3 is a straight up baddie. I kind of believe the lover because of that flip. So let's take a look at 8. 0 corruptions. Which means, yeah, we can kind of trust this information. There is not a drunk. Oh, sorry, there is not a drunk. There is a potential doppelganger or wretch. Don't we need like a doppelganger and a wretch coming up pretty soon? Because we have base 2 outcasts and then a counselor that should be adding one more, if possible. Let's see what else we can find here. All right, there is a potential doppelganger between 4, 5, and 6, which includes yourself. Huh. There's an outcast, a minion, and a villager. Which means you could be a doppelganger. That would check out. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 4, 5, and 6. You could be a doppelganger. You could be the other evil. But that would mean that we have 2 evils sat next to each other. I don't love that. We know you're not corrupted in any way. Yeah, this ain't really mathin', but a bishop, if lying, only points to villagers. Which means, wait, if a bishop points to themselves, oh, they could just not be pointing to an outcast? Wait, no, if you're lying, then they have to all be villagers. Does that mean that a bishop that points to itself has to be good, but it could be the outcast? But it can't be evil, I think. I think that logic checks out. No evils adjacent to me. I mean, this is like such a bad lie. Wait, alchemist. Oh, I think this was in the comments. An alchemist that cures 0 corruptions has to be good because that's not a lie. Because an evil can't cure corruptions. So this alchemist is good. This was good, which means you have to be good. And here is, by the way, I do think actually like a good use for the drawings is to go good and then outcast and then evil. Just to remember like how you're getting those pings. Now between 4, 5, and 6, that would mean, we can, I think that means that 4 has to be evil. The reason that I'm pausing here, by the way, before flipping over 2 more cards, is I might want to kill 4 before Lilith takes a second stab and we lose 2 health. I don't think there's a huge mechanical incentive to do so. Evils are not adjacent to each other. That's the tricky part, though. And this bishop can't be telling, oh, that's interesting. This bishop can't be lying because a lying bishop points to 3 villagers. So, doesn't that mean that this bishop has to be good too? I think they both have to be good. And I think this is going to make for a better thumbnail here. So let's get a good circle. Cool. But this doesn't make sense. I mean, this is a cute little drawing. But that would make this information wrong, which would make this information wrong. Cured 0 corruptions. And like this could be evil. Maybe one of... No, if you're Plague Doctor... Oh, you could be Plague Doctor corrupted. If you're corrupted and sat outside the alchemist, that would actually make this person good and this person evil. I think this person is... Oh, gosh. Oh, that actually solves it. That actually solves it because you are good, which actually satisfies this information. You are the outcast in your own story. You are evil, and there are two evils adjacent to each other because the wretch is sat next to the counselor, which I said could be a possibility, and that makes you Lilith. Wha-bam! Nice solve there. Okay, that one was a little bit tricky, especially with 3 outcasts from the doppelganger, or just like base 2 plus the counselor adding 1. Nice. We're like right under 30 minutes. I think we can play one more here and get to village number 20. All right, and we've got a drunk, a plague doctor, and a bombardier, but Lilith is really the only evil. Double outcast again, but Lilith is really the only evil we're working with. 1 is evil. 4, 8, or 2. 4, 8, or 2. All right, well, let's mark them for right now because this is a Lilith board, and then let's flip outside of that. 3 or 6 is a twin minion. You are 6. Okay. Sure. So Lilith could say that. Lilith could say that, but that's very silly. Let's flip 5. It's going to be Plague Doctor. Both of the pieces of information we've learned so far feel like they could be Plague Doctor corrupted information quite easily. We're going to save the Plague Doctor for now. That's one of our 2 outcasts. And let's flip 7. That's a knight. This could be the drunk. This could be Plague Doctor corrupted. Seems reasonable to kill the knight. Slightly reasonable. I don't think we're going to go there just yet, though. Now, killing the knight deals an additional 4 damage to you, which means if we tried to execute the knight and we were wrong, then we would lose the game because Lilith already lost us 4 life. I think we're going to leave the knight alone, unfortunately. 9 dying kind of implies the rest of this information might just be good and true. Let's see what we can find. Twin minion is 3 away from the closest evil. So if this is twin minion, 1, 2, 3, kind of tough to place it. If this is this can never be twin minion. Yeah, this can literally never be twin minion. So the only one that could be twin minion we're thinking is this or one of the other ones. What if this is twin minion and this is Lilith? Yeah, there's no example where this could be, something else could be twin minion and this could be Lilith, except for this one. This could be twin minion, this could be Lilith. The Scouts info would be really good info to know. That's Clockmaker info, right? In Blood on the Clock Tower. I am dizzy. Ooh, I think you're getting slashed. I think you're getting slashed. I don't think I want to waste a... But you could be the drunk. Oh, gosh. I don't know if you're getting slashed. You could be the drunk. You could be Plague Doctor corrupted. I think you're... that would be such a lame thing to have to Plague Doctor check. All right, let's flip over one more. Number 4 is a real drunk. So, here's what's interesting. This trio of 4, 2, 8. If this is the real drunk, sure. and then this is just evil. That would satisfy a lot of things. I think I'm willing to trust that information, and we're going to check here. Yep. Number 3 is evil. Number 4 is corrupted. Number 2 is evil. Your information is good. Your information is good. You're pointing at the twin minion. I think this was a fairly easy one. Do we kill before we... I guess let's kill the confessor. Nice. Now we don't have to worry about this, and we can flip it up without Lilith dealing us more damage. And we are going to end by attacking a knight. But this is corrupted information. This is good. Yeah, it's a little spooky. So what's the way that this could be wrong? Oops. If this plague doctor... Well, if the plague doctor is evil, that means that the knight could be like... it can't even be the doppelganger. If the plague doctor is evil... Why does the plague doctor have to be evil? I was trying to build a world... Oh, right. I was trying to build a world where this was wrong information, which can only happen if the plague doctor is evil. If the plague doctor is evil, then we don't have a corrupted knight. So I think that this actually is just free, and this is just our evil team. There we go. That is going to be it for me for today. Fairly straightforward games, I think, for the most part. We did have some scary ones. We had to attack some knights, and we got down to 1 health at one point. I wanted to bring up that my last video, because I think I'm getting better at the game, right? I'm finding my footage, which is cool, and I think that people have appreciated following along this process with me. My last video was my least commented video because I was doing a pretty good job solving the puzzles. So we'll see if that holds true for this one. A little bit of a ploy to at least leave a like if you enjoyed the video. But for today, that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.